Hello, hello! Welcome to Chapter 5. I've been very busy between videos, so the base looks quite different now. I will show you all the new things and how I made them happen. And there are some ideas here that I've also never tried before. For example, when I come home mining, I usually go through the airlock and go in and then smelt some stuff and put some stuff away and I construct some stuff. But now I can just mine and throw it over there, right? And what happens is it will then be smelted, you know? Here, remember our automatic arc furnace, which is now slightly differently arranged. Here we have a chute junction. Was it a junction? Yeah, I think so. Where they join together, and this is a hopper which can be made with the autolathe, and so I can just toss something over there. It will enter the chute network and then it will be smelted, and then it will of course be tossed into the base. And you can tell it looks quite differently. I painted everything and so forth and so on. Yeah, looks quite neat. A few more solar panels, one more station battery. And this one also turned on automatically when I placed it down, just like the IC code was programmed to do. A ladder. Okay, let's go in. And I already made a DeepMiner for later in this video. I hope so. Okay, it was super cramped over here. The arc furnace was pointing down. I was running into it with my head. And now it's bent like that. Very convenient. So I can toss ore in from inside or from outside. Both works, and it will just be smelted and will land down here on the floor. Very neat. Very nice look. But the things in here are still the same. This is the scrubber, this is the one pot of plants that we have, our air tank. The cooling system was extended to double its size because the room is now wider. I moved the manufactories around and painted them. Also, I added stackers. The stacker can just... oh, look at that. The stacker can be produced with the autolathe, and what the stacker does is it stacks. So, for example, if I produce some cables, they will not come out, but they will just be put together to a stack. Up to 500, though that doesn't happen. I just set the number 500. The maximum of the respective stack will take place. Oh, by the way, I have the cables are painted now, and there's a trick here which is a bit weird. I'm not too much a fan of it, but okay. So if I drag this cable stack, which is red, on the one that I spray painted black, they both join together and then they are both black. It's much cheaper to just spray paint the entire stack instead of spray painting the individual cables. Here's a cable, for example. Could you have told? Would you have known? And now we can turn off the flashlight, because we have lighting in here. Also neat, right? It would be nice if they would turn off automatically during the day, so the sun could do the lighting. I guess that would feel quite cool. We would have a stronger impression of day and night. Maybe I should implement that in IC10. Here is the crate with the seeds. Let's see what's in the fridge. Fridge is a bit dark. I don't like that. Maybe I should put a light in here. 6 potatoes, so no need to harvest right now. Spray painted the entire array. Oh, I need more water. Where is my thingy? Oh. Nope. Oh, there. That's the last bit of water I have. Find some outside. Yeah, okay, that's the fridge. Then here we have the table with the microwave, also spray painted. Some new locker with some stuff. And yeah, all that spray painting left me with quite a few empty spray cans. You can create the, you can make the spray paint with this thing, by the way, the tool maker. And well, I talked about recycling in the previous video. This is the recycler. And I added this chute so that I can just toss it in and then it will be thrown out the other side. And what comes out there is that reagent mix. And this has to go into a centrifuge, and then you will get, for example, iron or gold or whatever went into making the respective things that you toss in there, but you will not get the full materials. I think it's exactly half. Because it went through the recycler. That's how this works. So maybe we want to put up the centrifuge then out there, right? Is it here? And there it is, yeah. Need some foundations. I have now switched to steel frames. They can also be made with the auto lathe. They are much more economic.
Low pressure.
Oops.
Oxygen low. Pressure critical. Oxygen critical. Temperature critical.
Yeah, I replaced this, I mean, between the batteries and this APC there were some thin cables, and I replaced it now with heavy cables completely, and from that network then I also spread out over here with a heavy cable, so it's all just one network up to this point, and so here a new network begins. And here I will just use heavy cables, because if you put up a few deep miners, I think they draw like 500 watts, so and some other things, then too, it might ultimately reach the limit of the small cables. I don't want to meet that. I will just keep building, so let's not even bother. Okay, there would have to be a centrifuge nearby, but the centrifuge would also have to receive the things that come from the deep miners. I also replaced all the batteries of my tools with wireless batteries, so yeah, now I'm living very conveniently. Neat base. Though it's still, I mean, the building is still stupid. It's just window, 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 window. I didn't do any architecture yet, but dude, does it look better, and so much more space. And the constant blinking, also not bad. The hopper is a bit radical, but you know, I wanted to see what that's like, and I like it. Currently smelting ore gold. So, the centrifuge. We have to consider that the centrifuge has to have multiple sources, because I will have one deep miner here for demonstration purposes, and also the recycler, and both have to go into the centrifuge. I will just put it here. I mean, for testing, that's enough. What else do I need for that thing? Steel sheets? I don't have those. Damn, I picked the right tool. The problem is the right tool, then it will just tell me, yeah, you still need the steel sheets. If I pick the wrong tool, it will also tell me how many steel sheets. That's a bit dumb. I bet they will change that later. Num num num. And then we need chutes here. There should be a junction chute, so that we can get stuff in there from... Yeah, from which side? Where will I put the deep miner? I think I will put it here. Just in this corner. This is just a test setup. Ultimately we would have like 5 to 7 deep miners, and they would not go into this electric centrifuge, but we would use a combustion centrifuge. If you have one deep miner, you need about almost 2 or 1.5 centrifuges, or was it 2.5? I think it was 2.5 centrifuges to digest all the stuff that is being output, because they're relatively slow. I'm not sure about the numbers really. But if you use a combustion centrifuge, then you can still choose which fuel you use. I would first use the simple fuel that we know, 2 parts volatile, 1 part oxygen, and that gets us to like 500 or 600 RPM, and that thing will be very productive. I think it can serve about 3 to 3.5 deep miners, so that's a radically different ratio. But, you know, to demonstrate what's what, let's just put this thing up. I wonder, is it in the right place? I need to get some materials. Steel sheets. Maybe some more frames. But on easy, seriously, the game is, I wouldn't say too easy, but it's really easy when you know what you're doing. Oops. Yeah, it would be nice if the lights would turn off during the day. I made sure that they're all on the same network, so that should be possible. That is a wall light long. Let's see what that looks like. Here, structure light long. So let's just program that into our little thingy here over there, the omnipurpose chip, which still has quite some room left. Laptop. Now I put the chip in and say import from the chip into the computer, to be sure, because maybe the code in the computer is currently a different one. Who knows? Okay, define class light hash. And we want to write to all of them, so I don't need to go with names and stuff. And I will just test if this works in the first place. So let's just say write batch to CLS light. The logic tab shall be on, and I will turn them off. Let there be darkness. Oh, that didn't work. Why doesn't this work? Oh, I think there's also a logic connection here, possibly. Maybe. No, that was for the grow lights. The grow lights have 2 connections. Why doesn't this work? Did I pick the wrong light? Oh yes, I picked the wrong light. That's the reason then. That's the one. Yep. Okay. So, interesting. That's kind of a simulation of what would happen. The sun is coming up, so then we would see that the light turns off. Maybe not this early in the day, but you know. So, but how can we make that happen? For that, we need a daylight sensor. So we just make a kit sensor, and then we pick from that the daylight sensor. Then we pick a certain sun angle, I don't know what exactly its name is, and that works as follows. That will be simple degrees, like from 0 to 180, no negative values. So when the sun is on the opposite side, it will be 180 degrees, and when it's like at the horizon, there, dusk, dawn, it will be 90 degrees, and when it's noon up here, it will be 0 degrees. So all I have to do is, when the angle is below 90 or below 70 or whatever point in time I choose, then the lights shall be off, else they shall be on. And that is very simple to do. Now I just have to install the daylight sensor, which actually doesn't have to be in the sun, it just has to exist. Though it also has values that express whether it's currently exposed to sunlight, which I won't use, and those are indeed dependent on that. Where will I put this? I think it might matter whether I put it on the ground or somewhere else. So far I only put it on the ground, so I'm not sure if putting it somewhere else might be a problem. Let's put it here. I mean, there's room here, so why not? Daylight sensor. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year. Oh nice, here we can see grid sunlight true. See, it's expressing whether the sun is currently on that grid. I wonder if I put a wall out there, which... no, it's too iffy now. Solar angle 40 degree, 41 degree, 39? Oh right, 0 degrees is noon. Solar irradiance, the amount of watts coming down. Too bad that's not the amount of watts I get out of my solar panels. They are capped at 500 watts for whatever reason. And then the horizontal and vertical angle is... actually, I'm not sure. I heard that one of those values will be deprecated at some point, and I would like to use the official one. Maybe there's some information in the Stationpedia.
Waste tank caution.
I think it will be horizontal and vertical, because that seems like it makes the most sense. The main use of this thing, after all, is to automatically orient your solar panels with the sun, and I have experienced that on a server. I've never done it myself, and I have seen how incredibly much more energy you get out of a day when you do that. So at some point I would have to do that too, but so far, no. I just tossed down more solar panels and moved on with my life. That's a challenge I still have to face. So let's use vertical. I want to... Let's make sure that I only use this one. This will probably be the structured daylight sensor. Define. Oh right, we have to take care that we don't insert too many empty lines. Still safe. Define class. No. Daysense hash structure daylight sensor. I assume define ins daysense hash. Now we have to read out the value, and I want that in a register. Of course, you could just recycle the registers. You know, I think when this one has done its, when this one has been used up, then this one comes into play, or vice versa. So we could use the same register every time. Not up here in the alias section. No, of course not. But I mean down here. But why? I mean, I only have this few lines. How many registers can I possibly use with that simple code I'm writing here? Alias, sun angle, R13. So let's do it down here. So load batch named into sun angle. What we want is the vertical, and then we will just say sum. It's basically without effect. Now I have the information. Now I ask if this angle is less than branch, if less than this, less than let's say 90 or 80, let's say 80, so that the sun is relatively high in the sky before we turn off the lights. Then lights on. Very simple, very straightforward program. So if that is not the case, then we want to turn the lights off. Yeah, and that's it. That was already the code that should automate the light of the entire base. Confusing. Oh, right. I think I swapped on and off, right? If it's less than... Yeah, we can just swap that. If it's B branch, if greater than 80. Then turn the lights on. Yep. Though, I mean, okay, I didn't account for solar eclipses yet. That is also something I could do, you know. I could put up a daylight sensor that is actually aimed, whose purpose is actually to sense whether there's whether the sun is actually shining. You know, that is actually, I mean, the eclipses are really, they should be accounted for by the game, because when you look at a solar panel when the sun is in an eclipse, then it doesn't receive any energy, so why shouldn't that work with a daylight sensor? I could actually... grid sunlight true. Okay, that's about the entire grid. You know what? Grid sunlight. Maybe we should just go for the grid sunlight instead of doing this angle thing. Let's see. Solar irradiance. I'm not sure what the solar irradiance value is, so let's just read it out and write it to the housing.
Air tank low.
What's the name again? Solar irradiance? Solar irradiance. Yeah, there's a little problem here. When you do that, when you search, then stupidly you edit the code in parallel, which is obviously not intended. I will no longer write. This means that this is commented out and will no longer be active. So, load batch named irradiance. No. Solar irradiance. I wonder if I can actually squeeze that in the line. Aha! You're kidding me. Anyway, what I wanted to do here is anyway this. So not a problem. Write to device in which you're running into the setting this value. State 0. Not surprising, the sun is down, and we have our lighting here. I will just leave this for now, and yeah, time could do that anyway. So now we have some steel frames. We need some more steel sheets. Or did I already make those? I made those. Okay. That was for welding the centrifuge. And I will also need some... let's just go outside and see what happens. I have to take care of my oxygen. Oh, a wrench, of course. Now the welding torch and 2 steel sheets. Yeah, that's the centrifuge. Let's see to that it has some electricity. Whoops. Now it's turning. But to what end? Well, let's just connect it, see what happens. Where are my chutes? Oh, did I leave them inside? Not sure, but I think so. And what shall happen when it comes out here? This is the pneumatic mining drill, and as you can see, it is not as fast as it was, because that's, I mean, you can really run through the landscape like you're using a welder on butter. But now it's not like that. What's the reason? Well, the pressure has decreased. It's 4,000, not 9,500. And guess what? We can increase that even, because we don't just have the canisters that you have seen aplenty. There's also smart canisters. The smart canisters don't have more volume, but they can withstand more pressure. This means that I can put in double the amount of gas, and then you will of course have double the pressure. Where's the welder? So to use them as my waste gas canister will not help me, because that's a matter of pressure. The pump or whatever, I guess that's how it works, of the spacesuit cannot do anything meaningful anymore once we have reached 4,000 kilopascals. And since the canister doesn't have more volume but just more capacity to withstand pressure, that doesn't help us with the spacesuit. Let's get the chutes. See to that we get some air.
Air tank critical.
As you can see here, the air tank is really getting lower and lower. I mean, we have some kind of makeshift solution in place. I have my nitrogen filter even here, which hasn't dipped down any further since I've been using pure oxygen. And I've heard in the forums that when you have some nitrogen in your bottle, doesn't matter how much it is, then it will just keep decreasing, just like here, like one of these filters. And I haven't yet verified that, and until then I don't believe it. I would assume that the amount of decrease depends on the ratio or on the amount of gas that's actually pumped through it. But we'll see, maybe. So if need be, I could just, you know, crunch some oxide here, stuff my bottle in, and then breathe some nitrogen oxygen mixture, and that would work. And actually it would be interesting to put a smart canister here, so that my air tank holds for longer. So what we want now is we want 2 smart canisters, one for the pneumatic mining drill and one for my breathing. Toolmaker? No. All these changes here are very new, and so I don't really know myself around yet. My way, I mean. Yeah, smart canister. Copper, steel, silicon. Oh, I thought I had some silicon available. Damn it. Copper, steel, silicon. Steel, 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 steel. There is a bug here, I would say, because now that it's turned off, you cannot see what's in it, and you might say, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But all other machines, they point here, and then you can see what's in them. So, and that's very useful. So I would prefer that, but I would roll with whatever punches they deliver there, because that's a minor thing, and I like realism over uncomplicatedness. I'm like an immersion buff, you know. I'm only playing with headphones all the time, and my screen, I mean, you have maybe noticed that my field of view is rather wide. Let's increase it even further so that you see what I mean. Many people would possibly have a field of view like this in the game, and to me that would be kind of unplayable, because which field of view is correct for you is an objective value. Of course, maybe it's a matter of taste, etc., etc., but it is, in my opinion, it's an objective value, and it depends on the effective screen size. I'm using a 49-inch screen. It's just television with low latency, and when I stretch out my hand I can touch it, and that is the normal screen that I use for programming and for gaming, because, you know, the more my field of view is filled with the game, the more I'm inside the game. I mean, people spend tons of money on graphics cards, sometimes also on monitors, but how far away are those? How big are those? And I think if I have a bigger screen, that's money that the money is better spent. Where was I? Right. Silicon. Dude, I'm waiting. Give me the fucking silicon. So another word on field of view. Let's say you have a screen in your hands that shows a 3D model of the world around you, like when you're in an office building, or when you're at home, or when you're in school, or wherever you are, that entered into a computer as a 3D model. Now the screen is rendering that model onto the screen so that it is seamlessly one with whatever is outside the screen, so that the screen is basically like a piece of glass through which you see the world, except what you're seeing there is computer rendering. It's seamlessly one with whatever's outside the frame. Now let's say you pull that screen closer to you so that it becomes bigger effectively. What needs to happen, of course, is that the field of view of your computer rendering on that screen needs to increase. It needs to become wider. Okay, that's a bug that I have experienced many times when you have these floor claddings. And that's actually dangerous. If these things are not empty, I think they can actually explode. So if you pull that closer, you have to have a wider field of view. So that explains then not just that the field of view has to be wider when the screen is closer, but also that there's something like an objective field of view that's correct for you. And so, since my screen size is effectively large, I need a higher field of view. Now I want to fill that with whatever gas is available. Let's put the ice water away. Yeah, oxide, why not? I mean, it seems like a waste, but there's so much available out there. What's with the oxygen mixture, by the way? I haven't checked that in a while. Oh, look at that, CO2 is very low. I don't know why that is. I mean, was it just these 4 stupid plants over here? I think it might be because when I added this other room here, where I'm in, which was actually recorded on video a few hours ago, a video that was so boring that I scrapped it, I only used oxide, so there would be oxygen and nitrogen, but not CO2 added. And that is a main reason, I guess, why we have such a low CO2 ratio. Smart canisters being filled. If that would be a normal canister, it would already have exploded. And what I'm doing here is quite risky. What I should do instead is I should put up a pressure regulator. Yeah, let's talk about pressure regulators. They are for liquids and for gases, as per usual, iron and gold. Both of which rained down from the sky. These are not recycled from another machine. Pressure is... Yeah, I have to take care because what's coming out there is kind of like breathing. It heats up something, it tosses something out, it heats up something, so there might be a sudden breather that damages the bottle. 70. Of course I can pull that out in time, and that is a funny concept in general. Where's the next breather? Huh? There it is. And now it's slowing down again, and I would actually stop now. I don't want to risk it. So do I use that for myself? What's in there, by the way? Oxygen and nitrogen. And you also have to look at the temperature, because if you have some gas from whatever source that is below 0 or above 50, if you put it, if you use it as an oxygen tank, your lungs will get damaged, and so at some point you will just start with the heavy breathing sounds, and you will wonder why. And you will wonder why that you get red lungs up there. Is it the missing filter? Is your filter off? Is the waste tank full? What's the reason? And until you have figured out that the temperature of your gas is just outside a valid range, yeah, that's probably too late. And my plan now is to use that for the drill. Where's the drill? Where's the drill? Ah. Here. Four megapascals of the same kind of mixture. Here we have 19 megapascal pressure. If I push that thing in here, it will probably explode. I can't risk that. Nope. Oh, shall we? Ah, come on, for fun. I just saved, toss it in, see what happens. Huh. Well, the reason why this didn't cause an explosion would of course be volume. Here we have 64 liters, but here in this pipe network we overall have 20 liters. So if we have a pressure of like 19 megapascals here, that's not the same as a pressure of 19 megapascals here. Also, what we have is not just this volume or that volume, but the sum total of this volume, in which then this pressure is spread, so this amount of gas. So yeah, lucky us, now we have an oxygen bottle that is very full. And this one I will just, you know, open and forget about it. That is for my pneumatic drill. Okay, now the pressure regulator. Here we go, it's a kit. Let's talk about the pressure regulator. Okay. This is the pressure regulator. We also have the purge valve, the pressurant valve, and the back pressure regulator. These two are currently of most interest. What we would need here for this assembly is the pressure regulator, because it means that what's on the Ah, damn, I can't use the mouse while this thing is a build ghost. Okay, from the right side the gas comes, and on the left side it goes, and then we can set a value of pressure, and if that pressure is reached, or if it is exceeded, nothing will come from the input side to the output side. So if we set a pressure of 9.5 megapascals, then whatever we do here cannot explode our bottle. Of course we can still get pipe bursting and such, but that doesn't destroy our base, so that's a minor concern. Also, we can actually use two pressure regulators here. One from the kit, I mean. We can use one here to make sure that the bottle doesn't get too full. And we can use one here that is not a pressure regulator, but a back pressure regulator. Do we have some more CO2 now? Yeah, actually yes. Good. The back pressure regulator, because that means that we define a pressure here, like with a pressure regulator, but this is the pressure that will then not be, we will not, okay, that's, the pressure regulator is about the pressure on the output side, you know, the left arrow that points away from the device. But the back pressure regulator is about the input side, the arrow that points towards the device. If I set, for example, 9.5 megapascals on this device, then if the pressure on the right side is 10 megapascals, then something will get through so that it falls down to 9.5. But it will never fall further, at least not due to this outlet. I mean, there might be other reasons why it falls. For example, it could just become colder, and therefore the gas shrinks, basically. There's also something very important regarding gas bottles. Sometimes you might fill a gas bottle to 9.5 megapascals, so you have 500 megapascals, 500 kilopascals reserve, and leave it lying around for later. But you might have it filled at like 10 degrees Celsius, and your base has reached its temperature of like 30 degrees or whatever, and you'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes volume-wise. Suddenly you have an explosion in your base that destroys many things, and you don't know what it was. Very often it's just that the bottle got too warm and the capacity was exceeded. So that's the back pressure regulator. If I would use that here, like with a value of 50 megapascals, I could make sure that the pipes don't burst, because anything that exceeds the 50 will just go out there. That's the back pressure regulator. Now things get actually a bit more complicated, because I think that was rather simple. The pressure valve, you can see here on the left side, is made to pump something into liquid pipes, and on the right side here you can see no such symbol. That means it is the default pipe type, and that's the gas pipes. So we can pump gas into water pipes. What's that good for? Well, I used that, for example, on my Vulcan base when I created water from a fuel mixture using the H2O combustor. Was that the name? I think so. But it came out with like 2000 degrees, and I managed to cool it down somewhat, but it was still above 100 degrees Celsius, so I could not, it wouldn't like condense to liquid water. So I used the pressure valve to just force it into my liquid pipe network, and then I cooled down the stuff in the liquid pipe network by other means. That's not necessarily the way to go. I'm just saying you can just press gas into liquid pipes. So then we have the purge valve, and here you can see on the right side there is the symbol for liquid pipe, on the left side there is not. The purpose of this thing is to get rid of gas in liquid pipes. So it's basically the opposite of the pressure valve. So what's happening? Why do we have no light? That is an eclipse, I guess. All right, let's look at that. Thank you, eclipse. Here we have a solar irradiance of 0. And when the Earth has moved past, or what the Skydance really does. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Am I mistaken? Oh no. Here we go. Aha, we see actually the solar irradiance in watts. So I could say, as long as there is any solar irradiance, we want to leave the lights out, otherwise we want them on. That seems like a reasonable approach. Let's do that then. I will change the name of my variable to something shorter. I will just call it sun. And then down here we don't get the sun angle, but we get the solar irradiance. And if the irradiance is greater than 0, okay, is less than or equal, branch if less than or equal sun 0, then lights on. That should work. And I'll remove this again because the test is over, and then we can also go back to writing the temperature in Celsius to the device. Not that it helps much when the floor cover is back, but you know. Export. Okay. Let's put the floor covers back. Oh! Do I have spray paint on me? I do not. I do! Yeah. Uh-huh. So the sun's going down, there will be shadows, and I wonder if this shadow might actually cause the entire grid here to become non-irradiated. And then will the lights turn on? Interesting that the solar irradiance is still so strong. Should it decrease since the sun's going down? I don't understand. Maybe I'm using this thing wrong. I mean, certainly the solar angle can be used. I've used that before. Works like a charm. Can be used for timing your grow lights. There are some bugs in the game currently with the skybox, so it might be that some days or nights are extremely long, around day 90, 180 or multiples of that. Also, you can change actually the speed of this. There are some, let's press F3 to see the console, and then I can just type help. And then you will see some commands. For example, I can say timescale, or what was it? Yeah, timescale. But I will not do that now. Instead, I will say orbit view and orbit debug. Over there is Venus. I actually didn't know that the planets that we cannot see at all from the moon during our gameplay are actually all in the game. Over there is Sol, which is below the horizon, and we have solar irradiance 0, and the light is on. Okay, that works. That is Earth, Mars, Neptune. They're all there, all simulated. That's cool. I wish there was a way to see those in a somehow with normal gameplay, you know, because that would give you a deeper experience. This currently is a hack that cannot normally be used. Now we can see, let me turn that off, we can see at the left top, if you can read that, I mean the video will produce it, but are you watching it in high quality, or are you watching it on Discord, where the quality is for some reason lower, to my experience. We can see here the time scale is this value. It is a different value on other worlds that you can play on, and that's the value to which I would have to reset it then. But I can accelerate day and night. I can... Let's do that for a moment, just for fun. Time scale 10. Time scale scan is ridiculous. I mean, god damn it. It's dizzying, isn't it? So let's turn that back. That was an eclipse. Time scale 0.01. Slowed it down. It's not the right value, I think, but it's at least slower. What's the normal value? You can still see that at the left top here. 0.2275. So if I go and say time scale, I would just set that value. Wait, doing it wrong. 2275? 2275. Yep, that's the correct value. But what does correct value mean? It is the value that they have defined, so that we have, I think, a day and night rhythm that lasts for 20 minutes. But I played Fallout 4, for example, which has these nice radiation storms, and you can also use the console to change the timescale, and I did that and set it to something that was much slower, and I like that, to have a more realistic timescale. I would like that here too, that a day-night combination lasts like 2 or 3 hours maybe. And but the problem is, the plants, which have a light and darkness demand, they still run in the same rhythm. They are not affected by the timescale setting, even though that should be, in my opinion. I hope that comes at some point. So let's turn off the orbit. Orbit view off. Okay. So where was I? Kit basic shoots. I wanted to connect. I wanted to put something into our centrifuge. Some more shoots maybe. What's that? Why do I have a smart canister that's empty? Because I didn't fill it yet. Good explanation. Let's put it over there as a reminder. And make some shoots. And that too as a reminder. No more iron. There was something else I wanted to show regarding pressure and valves and stuff. What was that? Ah, yeah, valve. Yeah, of course. Did I explain the valves? I'm not sure. Maybe I did already. I think so. Aha, now they're also all black. So if I split this... you could call this cheating, but the paint is so cheap that that is agreeable. Once I have achieved paint, I can also just say I have achieved painting all of them. Okay, let's look at valves again. Here we have the expansion valve, which goes from... I think that is a liquid inlet on this side and a gas pipe on this side, which is for liquid that may want to evaporate. Then it can go over here, and that is the opposite of that, which has a gas pipe here and a liquid pipe there, so that gas which is too cold or there's too high pressure can phase change down to liquidity and go over here into the water pipe, into the liquid pipe. The purge valve, I think we had that. That's, you know, together with the pressure valve. Then we have digital valves, which can be controlled. They are not a directional thing. They're just off and on. You know, just that, basically just that. The liquid or the gas valve that you can use with your hands, but you can use them with the machine. I use that on Europa, for example, to open my station air to the outside world. That exchanged very little pressure, but tons of temperature. So if I had to cool things down, that thing would turn on for a moment. I don't know why it exchanged so much temperature, but so little pressure, but I don't object. This is just a one-directional valve, so gas can only stream in one direction. The same thing exists for liquid. What else do we have? Yeah, that's it for now. So let's start with the centrifuge. You might notice that my air tank, which was at 9 something megapascals, is already at 6.9. Why is that? Because I'm using much more of the gas inside, because the gas consists not just of oxygen but also of nitrogen. So since I do need to breathe oxygen, the suit has to use more content of the bottle to give me the same amount of oxygen. So that's the centrifuge. I want to put something in there with a junction from the side. Wrong direction. Just keep hitting that button until you're satisfied. Yeah, so stuff can come in from here and from here. That's what I want. But you know, I will try to be flexible, so I will just put another junction chute here. Oh, I can't do that? I need more of them, yeah. Junction... I mean, just in case, so that later I don't have any hassle, I will just prepare that. For example, I can now add here a corner piece, theoretically, upwards, and then an inlet. And then guess what? So the centrifuge is already working on that. And here you can see, processing. 1 times reagent mix, it's already almost done. I think it might make sense to use a stacker here to combine all that stuff before putting it in, but I'm not sure. I will rather not. So now we have 1 gram of iron in here. If I use the lever, wherever it, oh, there it is. It's currently flashing an arrow. Right, they changed how the centrifuges work, the electric ones and the combustion one. I think what's happening here, error, centrifuge must be stopped before it can export. Aha, they're also a bit more expressive now in their error messages than before. I mean, this game is getting better and better and better on all fronts. Did you know that they had about at least 1 new build per day in recent weeks? I mean, not now, around Christmas, but before. So you basically had an improved game every single day. Everything, I mean, of course, not new features and stuff like that, but, you know, some tooltip got improved and some stupid behavior was fixed and something was rebalanced and so forth, stuff like that. But even if you're just on the official channel, instead of the beta channel where I usually play, even then you would have, I think, well, it depends. The rocket release, which just came out around shortly before Christmas, was I think there was a very long gap after. I mean, before. Okay, there was previously another update, an official update, and I think that was a long time ago, like several months. But they usually have updates about every 2 months or so. I'm not sure, but rather often. I mean, this team is really awesome. Now let's recycle all that crap. So that it doesn't roll around, because I am too cheap to use an airlock that is actually repressurizing. These are batteries. Why would I recycle those? Because I've graduated from tiny batteries now to large ones and to wired ones, to wireless ones. These are just in the way. Oh. Did I forget anything? Nope. So let's take a look at the centrifuge. I put up a new station battery. Now we have 3 before I started the video. So and I think that the charge has increased since. Let's see what's happening here. Processing. You see that there's actually 0.1 gold, and if I pull the lever I will not get any gold out of there, because the minimum that you get is always 1. So if there's 1.3 in there and I pull the lever, then I will have 0.3 in here and I will get 1 out. Now for the DeepMiner. Where is it? Let's let the world do the mining for us, shall we? Where will I put it? On this side? Yeah, it's only a test setup, so let's put it here. It's a big motherfucker, isn't it? Which side is up? Yeah, this side. It's really hard to see. I mean, these build ghosts, they made here, these blueprints, as some people call them, they are not good. Just plain simply not good. They should be less. Should be less opaque, so they should be more translucent. And I also think that they should have some distance modulation. You know, the closer to me a part of that thing is, the more it should be, I don't know, green or non-transparent or whatever, some aspect like that. You know, something visual. And the further away from me it is, the more it should be like different, for example transparent, because depth perception is not so good with this thing. By the way, regarding a field of view, if you play with a higher field of view, then necessarily you have better depth perception in a 3D game. Because, compare, here, the lines are almost parallel, and here, the lines are geometrically very different when they go into the distance. So I have better depth perception because I'm using a high field of view. I wish it was easy to just plop in 3D glasses and then play any 3D game just in actual true 3D. That's basically all I would do. I tried that a while ago, actually over 10 years ago, with one of the Quake versions. I'm not talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that was really great. I mean, I think, many people, it has been said many times that there will be a 3D revolution and we will have 3D games, and then the revolution passed, and that was many years ago, and then another wave started. When was that? Best power connection? Like 3 years ago or 4 maybe. And I said when that happened, this one's here to stay. And I think so. It will not vanish completely and it will get stronger. And I'm pretty sure that eventually we will play everything per default in 3D. That is actually three-dimensional, in true 3D. I mean, you have to look into the future. 10, 20, 50, 1,000 years. Yes, it will be true 3D. That would be normal. There are people who say that doesn't really add anything and so forth. But hey, people are stupid. That's just the way it is. People are stupid. People are dumb. For example, here's an example. Open the Steam store and go to any game. I'm not talking about the developers of the games here, I'm talking about Valve. Play a video of the game, right? There's a video in the store. And turn the volume up fully on the slider of the video. Okay, now the volume is properly loud. Now let's turn the volume down by like 1/4, you know, geometrically, not the actual. See, that's the thing. I'm saying turn it down visually by 1/4, but not audibly. You know, I have to express what I mean. If it were a proper volume slider, that would be the same, you know, but it's not. And now look at any other game product. I mean, there are exceptions, very rare exceptions, and Stationeers, as far as I've checked, is not one of those. Very rare exceptions where the volume sliders work properly. And you know what you have to do to make that happen? All you need to do is, this is my volume slider value. Oh no, this is the... Okay, here's my sound value, the current sound sample that would be played. And I want to multiply that by, for example, 1, then it's still full volume. And this is half volume, right? No, it's not. That is not half volume, but that is how they all implement that. Let's not go into the reasons, but the thing is, we would have to have a multiplier here. Let's call it x. And to find x, we have to do this. Oops, I didn't know that was possible. That's what you have to do. The value with which you have to multiply your sound sample to achieve a certain volume can't be just the same as the slider setting. Instead, you have to... What the fuck is happening? Am I controlling the sun? What the fuck? Anyway, this slider setting has to be raised to the power of 2.7. Now this seems a bit weird. 2.7, that Euler's number, you know? How do I ever get out of this view again? Did I just fuck up my skybox? But what did I do? Will it be noon all the time now? Hopefully not. Anyway, so let's say you turn down the volume slider by a little bit. You will realize that the actual volume that you hear is still basically full. Why is that? Why is that? It's not so much the question. The question is, what can you do to fix it? And I think any programmer worth their salt should hear that this is actually not working correctly, and then they should ask themselves what they can do. And it is super simple to fix that, because if that decreases the volume not as much as you wanted, then you just raise the volume slider value to the power of 2, for example, because this way you bend it down and bend it downwards, and then you will feel, oh, now it's better. So then you try to figure out the right value, and that happens to be Euler's number. So what's the next step here for that? Is the sun still moving? Yeah, the skybox is still moving. What was that? What the fuck? Okay. Welding torsion. 12 steel sheets. I have 7. Oh, sad face. Heavy cables, I don't have enough. Let's make some more. What? Copper and gold. Oh. Aha, aber ich wusste doch, dass da noch was drin ist. Thought so. Solar irradiance, still over 1000 watts, and it's not changing. I find that weird. Shouldn't that decrease? No, I guess it's just expressing how much sunlight is reaching the planet at all in this sector. While the solar panels also have some... Ah, the light turned on. Some angle dependency. Now we need the screwdriver and 5 cable coils. Electronic parts. How many? Ah, just the wrong tool. Again, just the wrong tool. 4 electronic parts. Careful with the crowbar. That would be the electronics splinter, obviously. ore. Copper. Do I have some smelted copper? Yep. Do I need to smelt some stuff? How much electrum do I still have? 46 grams. I had 100. I want to keep that gold around in case I need some more. Copper. Wait, I just tossed copper in. What the fuck? Oh, 1 gram. That's not enough. Interesting. What's missing? Gold. Beautiful base. And so much room to breathe. Yeah, I'm gonna test the hydraulic mining drill with this new gas bottle very soon, because I'll accompany the deep mining drill as it reaches the bedrock. So we get to see the bedrock. That would be nice.
Oxygen low.
I'm doing something wrong, obviously. But what is it? Ah, right, my filters.
Oxygen critical.
We actually have an emergency here. What is happening? I didn't... oh, come on. Okay, that is something that they need to fix. The ladders must not behave like that. I was walking over the edge and suddenly I'm freezing. So what's happening is I need CO2 filters, else the CO2 will not be filtered out of my suit. And my CO2 filters are used up. Can actually play football here. CO2 filter, that would be over here. No, I made excessive amount of filters. Here we go. Okay, emergency over. What was I doing? I didn't have to change the battery, not even when I went mining. I mean, the wireless batteries are really killer awesome. So, electronic parts. Oh no, the thing is done. Hand drill required to deconstruct, meaning there is nothing to construct anymore. The thing is done. Well... now it's starting to drill down to bedrock, and when it has arrived there, it will start mining for us. Let's see what that looks like. Would it help if I help? When we drill stuff on the surface, there's iron and other ores, then... oh, actually this is some kind of bug with terrain logic, but that's no concern because they plan to re-implement that anyway at some point in a different form. That's also the reason the rover is not available. Many people have asked for that thing. I mean, there are two things need to be done before the rover can come back. One is the terrain needs to be re-implemented. I don't know why exactly, I haven't experienced it myself, but I've read that the rover wasn't playing nice with the terrain. It couldn't drive properly over, it was falling over all the time, stuff like that. So they want to re-implement the terrain anyway, in some form, and so the rover could then benefit from that, and I guess then it will make a comeback at some point. And another thing is that the rover's purpose would be to get away from your base far and to transport lots of things, but currently that is just not needed. If you get far away from your base, you will find what you can already see close to your base, just the same stuff. Yeah, maybe they will do something about that, so it gets more interesting out there. That would be very cool. There, Bedrock. Interesting. It's claiming there's temperature 15 degrees down here. $15 degrees. What possible temperature is here? Oh, right, of course, the 15 degrees of the gas that I just used to drill. Yeah. So is there any temperature down here? No, there's not. It's just cold. It just looks interesting. Hey, look, uranium, which is currently still completely useless, apart from the fact that it has lots of pollution, if it is mined manually. But once this drill comes down and drills the stuff from below the bedrock, which it does infinitely so, and it's planned, I heard, that this shall not be infinitely so, and I hate that plan, because the setup that's needed to have deep miners be mining and then the stuff automatically separated out and so forth into silos. What are we supposed to do? Mine for a few hours and then disassemble that whole thing and reassemble it 10 meters over? Or what's the idea? Anyway, when the deep miner is down here and drills that stuff, it will that will be degassed, or at least when I send it through the centrifuge. Weird. Why is the drill not showing? Oh, I guess they implemented some new culling algorithms, and maybe that's affecting what's currently happening here visually. Interesting. Nah. Anyway, let's go back up there. Because I kinda need to drink something. And what this thing will produce is dirty ore, and that will then go, will come out there. Oh right, so we're not yet done constructing this thing. Where are my chutes? You're kidding me. Did I leave them inside again? There, no they are. There they are. So, here is my unfortunate construction. Let's just change that. To a junction from the side. Come on.
Health low.
Yeah, whatever. Health low means it's 75%. That is correct. In here. Okay. Corner. One should try to never build this close, because that will probably eventually not work. I mean, we have seen how bad cramped building is in the station so far. Yeah, and yeah. Man, am I glad that this works at all. Thought I've done goofed. Corner. Alrighty. Now we should actually get some stuff in here. Is this still doing something? It's not. Let's open it so that we get all the resources from within. What's this? Dirty ore. Where did that come from? Huh? Does the DeepMiner produce dirty ore before it has reached bedrock? I was told that only does that when it is down there already, because that's what comes out of the DeepMiner. Huh. Slowing down, and now it's spitting out what we had so far. 10 copper, and so forth. Now I close it again. And all this can be done with logic, you know, you can program that. You detect when this thing is full enough, then you flip the lever and you can... Actually, there are sorters and splitters and stuff. What I have a setup on Vulkan, for example, where I have several of these DeepMiners and 2 combustion centrifuges, and they output their stuff into a chute system, and that chute system has what's the word? Sorter? I'm not sure. I think it's a sorter. This and then I programmed the sorters. I just configured them. It's simple. To detect, oh, this is iron. You go to the right side. The rest goes straight. And then the same for coal, the same for gold, etc. And then on the right side, I had stackers, which stack this up to the maximum of 50, and then they output this to silos, which are tall buildings where there are, I don't know how many, 100 or whatever stacks can be in there, and so that thing keeps mining automatically and sorting for me. And if I need gold, I go to the silo, push a button, and there we go. Oh look, processing dirty ore. You just saw that here, this little animation here, when that came out. Yeah, it's working. We are now infinitely mining, and we are getting some iron here. So let's put the dirty ore in here, gather the stuff, and then drink something before we fall over dead. Which is always awkward. Oh look, he died. Peculiar. I wish there was a simpler way to split things. For example, if you look at a stack in a locker, it would be nice if it were possible to just take 1 or 2 of those, then, you know, one and another one, so the stack builds in your hands. Maybe that even exists and I just don't know about it, but I doubt it. When you bake the potatoes, they have more nutritional value. I think that's even what it says here. Provides 16, provides, okay, 50, but it's 5 potatoes. 16 for 1 potato and 10 for a non-baked potato. Yeah. But the greatest nutritional value, or almost the greatest, still is the tomato soup. And we can actually make that ourselves. For that, of course, we need tomatoes, and I don't have any. Maybe we should set up a landing pad and lure in some traders. I always say lure in. I just contact some traders and ask them to land and then buy some tomatoes. It's actually not hard to do. Maybe we could do that later. Okay. So, state of things. We have the DeepMiner running. We also have seen that it produces some stuff. We haven't yet seen the actual outcome, but the outcome will be kind of like what I just demonstrated with the recycler ore stuff. So that's not so different. Technically we have done that. Oh, be nice. Oh, so nice not to have to think about that. It just stacks here and it will be smelted and it will rain down when it feels like doing so, and yeah. Let's see, did I have something on my to-do list here? Fuel mixing, advanced furnace. I think I should basically stop the video soon and do the advanced furnace and such in a different video, because that is probably going to be very extensive, and I think the videos don't have to be that long, right? I mean, the last video, which is I think part 4, is still being calculated by YouTube. There was a 29 gigabytes upload. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? I made the base more beautiful. There are 3 of the station batteries. Electricity seems to be, we have a surplus. However, now the DeepMiner is running, so that might change. Then I put up some more solar panels. This thing is nice. I could just mine and return, throw something, and then just continue mining instead of going through the airlock and going inside and then kind of being stuck in that whole handing of products loop. Then here we have another electric circuit, which we can also load with up to like 100,000. Yeah, we have to talk electric circuit at some point with the transformers and such. Not today. The recycler we have seen, we haven't heard it. I know what it sounds like, you don't, because there's no air. Haha. Then we have seen the stackers, how nice it is not to come home to a room full of cable coils or pipes, but instead to 2 or 3 stacks maybe. Everything has been cleaned up, it's spray painted. And even my portable scrubber, which is over here, is running on wireless batteries. That is very neat. 14 more already. I can't think of anything right now, so yeah. See you at some point in the future. Bye.